there are some great moments of aha. Everything falls away. And those moments are wonderful. And generally, we come back to everyday life. And what we're really needing to do is bring these practices into the moments of our everyday life. So when we find ourselves in a frenzy, the frenzy really isn't out there. The frenzy is our own creation. I was thinking when Dennis was speaking, I was reminded of the first two lines of the great poem from the third patriarch, Trust in Mind, where he says, there's a lot of different ways of translating these first two lines, but it's something like, the great way is not difficult for those who don't have preferences. Sometimes it's said, for those who don't make good and bad. So much of what Dennis was talking about is falling into good and bad, right or wrong. He said in Buddhism we talk about things being, our experience of things being either positive or negative. It was interesting that he left out neutral. But really what the Buddha talked about, things are positive, negative, or neutral. Neutral is a tough place for us. We get very hooked into likes and dislikes. From the Buddha's point of view, attachment to those likes and dislikes creates suffering, period. And our practice is about facing ourselves. When we ask this question, what am I? It's an opening question. I know I've been saying this the last couple of weeks, and it's become fascinating to me in my work with people, how so often we say, I don't know, and fill in the blank whatever comes after that. And that becomes a shutting down point. The beauty of Zen practice, that don't know actually becomes an opening process. If I really recognize that I don't know, I can collapse into that and go into despair. Or I can be curious about it. I can take that as an opening. If I don't know, well, then what? And if I don't know something, one way of handling that is to circle the wagons and collapse. Another way of handling it is to be curious about it, to investigate it, to be willing to try to get out of the good and bad, right and wrong paradigm and just see a little more clearly what's actually going on. And my experience is if we investigate, we may not ever understand exactly what it is. And I think a lot of times the explanation we come up with, it's soothing and it's convenient, but something else is actually happening that we don't know and don't understand. But the investigation itself opens things. So rather than collapsing, the challenge is to open.